Ooh.
Hi guys. My God, Shirayne.
Hello.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of ManaSurge Talk. It's a very late episode. We've taken a break for like 2 months now. I'm sorry,
Has it been 2
but
months?
I think it's been 2 months. I
Oh,
forgot.
boy.
The last one was
Last
Yeah.
one was
the last one was in my top 8. So
Okay,
Mm.
yeah, it's been 2 months then.
yeah, it's been 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a long time since last time I did this, but we're here now, and I'm your host, ManaSurge. Today, I have two of our MS boys, Joy and Shira, and also our boss here, Bjorn, who's doing all of the technical stuff while streaming his own face and talking with us.
Yeah,
So
kind of multitasking. So pardon me if like I go quiet sometimes because I'm just trying to fix stuff.
how's it going, guys?
actually,
I don't know how's it
I'm
going.
doing fine, man.
You tell me, man.
Enjoying the meta?
Uh,
Enjoying the new expansion?
I did before tomorrow.
I did
yeah.
myself. Like, I enjoyed the meta until they like decided to like do some stuff. We'll talk about that.
Yeah,
Which
we'll
we'll
talk about
talk
that.
about,
I guess
obviously.
Kikyo, you can kind of just go over like the rough agenda that we are going to like touch on, and then we can just go on from there.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. Basically, today we'll be talking about the meta for our newest expansion, Fortune's Hand. Not our newest expansion, Shadowverse newest expansion. We don't own Shadowverse.
Yeah.
Fortune's Hand, and how is it like? How the meta is for the past? I think it's about a week, almost a week, right? Hasn't been a week yet.
Yeah, almost
there,
a week.
yeah.
And more specifically, we'll also be touching on the recent news, just the nerf to the class Swordcraft, which has brought out
Just
many different topics and, well, basically a lot of reaction from the community. That's one of our big topics. Just like always, since we haven't done this in quite a while, I gonna remind you guys, if you guys have any discussion or any question you guys want us to talk about here, preferably related to the topic we have today, you guys can say in chat. We'll read it, and if we remember,
We'll
talk
definitely
about it.
remember. I'm looking at it.
yeah, we have Bjorn here reminding me on that. So yeah, do that. But anyway, without further ado, I guess we can start like talking about current meta, and this is how we're gonna do it. Instead of like talking about everything all at once, we are going to talk about each of the different class one by one, starting from like the most relevant one to Portal, because Portal is very sad right now.
Portal
What do you
is
mean
definitely
very sad? It's more playable than Haven, dude.
Oh, yeah, Portal and Haven. Those two classes are having trouble right now. Spoilers, but well, not related to the spoilers. We'll talk about the first class, which is the class that got nerfed. That is going to get nerfed
But
tomorrow.
why?
But
Which is
why?
Swordcraft.
But why sword? Why sword first?
Wait. We will not talk about the nerf yet. We'll start by talking about like the Swordcraft deck and how you guys feel about it. Swordcraft right now, for those of you guys who haven't touched Shadowverse for quite a while, has the deck Rally Sword, which uses the new mechanic called Rally. It counts the amount of follower you play that has been played on your side of the field. And if it gets to the number, so for example, Rally 10, you have to play 10 followers, it will activate different effects. And one of the strongest cards in this expansion, a neutral card called remind me.
I know. Kikyo's always messing up the Japanese names and the English.
Yeah, Fieran. Yeah, I keep on confusing with the Japanese name. Fieran, she summons herself from the deck if you have Rally 10 activate and buffs your whole field, which is the whole mechanic between Rally Sword.
Not only that, you mentioned play followers, like you can also like buff your rally count with burial right and all that kind of stuff. So like anything that comes into play.
Anything that comes into play, but basically, Rally Sword and basically like Swordcraft in general has been seeing quite a lot of ladder play. recently, and I don't know. Like, I want to know how you guys feel about sword right now. Like, maybe Shira can start first because he's the sword main.
No. Sword is my
Yeah.
second craft. But yes, like sword was fair. Sword was good, and it had a defined play. Like everything you did, the opponent could react to, and
Yep.
that was what made the deck. But everything you did was good, and like sword had two directions. It had one direction was the Evo sword, which is still playable after nerfs, but we get to nerfs later. And we got rally sword, and rally sword was more problematic. I agree on that. And it's so hard to talk about that because
I wouldn't say
feeling
rally
sad.
sword is that problematic. On the first day, I thought it was problematic. It's like they can keep on making new boards because of the new rally stuff that basically like gives you 2 to 3 bodies on board for just one card.
Very easy. Very easily. Yeah.
Just but then
Yeah.
like it's not that hard to play around, and if you can keep your clears and keep your resources up for and anticipate them, like doing it, like it's not that hard. And there's not a lot of proactive cards in Sword. Most
Yep.
specifically, like they need 7 mana to get Amelia up. Late game, if they don't have Evo anymore, they do have the boost from the new card. But like late game, once they kind of go for the Feyline game plan, if you pressure them enough, they don't have that many way to both build a board and also like answers your board. So they can't take back tempo easily after they run out of Evo, which is a big problem with Rally Sword. So like kind of like adding on to what Shira says just now, it's not that hard to play against it, which kind of makes it fair. Obviously, in the data that Saige released yesterday with the news about the nerf, they say that Rally Sword has 59% play win rate and like 18% play rate, which is quite crazy. But considering like what the pre-release have done, which is another topic in itself, people right now kind of like last expansion with Mech Forest just jump onto Rally Sword as fast as they can once the new expansions comes out, and just grinding it every day. So I feel like that kind of skews the data to that direction, and like makes it that so that Rally Sword seems like a deck that is stronger than like it actually is. It's not that strong. I mean, it's strong, but it's Sword. It's what Sword does.
also
Sword.
adding to
Unlike
that, like the meta has shifted to decks like that actually countered sword. Like
Yep.
there were decks which
Oh god. Having some technical. Okay, let me try and fix this. Bad news, guys. We DC'd. I'm trying to fix it now. I'm sorry.
no.
I thought I was the one who DC'd. I DC'd in between. Hopefully
Okay, I
no
came
one
back.
noticed.
Yeah, and we saw the chat because of you.
Hmm.
Stream. Also, beyond the title. Stream title.
I have told you. I have told him about it. Technical difficulties.
Professional gaming organization, by the way.
Yeah, God, he remembers.
Alright. I think we're back. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
so what
Oh, we're
actually happened?
back.
Yeah, what happened was pretty retarded. So Joy he disconnected, right? But I didn't know if he realized, so I was trying to tell him over Discord on
I
my
really-
phone that he
Yep.
disconnected. And then for some weird reason, like my phone decided to just switch over to the voice comm on the phone instead. So we kind of like cut off. Yeah, I'm
What the
sorry
hell?
about that.
Discord.
Blame Joy first cause he's the one that's disconnecting in the first place.
What? What?
Everybody blame the Indian.
No.
Oh.
Wait,
You're not a real Asian, Joy.
this is not a scammer stream. No. This is
Yeah.
not a
Anyway,
scammer
anyway.
stream.
Apologies for that little hiccup, but yeah,
Anyway.
I'm just not gonna use this
Anyway,
on the phone.
going back to the
Yeah.
topic, Joy was saying like how fair sport actually is, right?
Yeah, we were like
Can
discussing about.
repeat your whole point.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can just recap like what happened when we were away.
Yeah. Like we talked about Sword's matchups and how easily counterable it was really. Yet Sword was the one with the high win rate. That's why it got nerfed. Pretty much that.
Well, imagine
what
if
a-
Sword goes against Sword, it has a high win rate.
Yeah, that's a higher win rate, like 50-50 win rate, man. Yo. That was weird.
I actually haven't touched Rally Sword yet because I played like, a lot against Rally Sword obviously because they're everywhere in leather, but I haven't touched it enough to kind of judge how like fully judge. Maybe there's something that I missed, but like how do you guys like? How many of you guys actually Rally Sword for climbing like the past week?
I
And
was
laser
specifically,
doing-
like, I'm kind of like interested in how the mirror goes.
I played
was-
a fair bit of it, and the mirror was you go first, you had every drop on curve, you win. That's
That
basically
sounds
it
great.
most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, it just
Pretty
boils down
much
to
and-
who hits the rally first, who gets out the wing guards first, and then starts doing
Exactly.
the pressure.
Yeah, also
Exactly.
like
And like,
that's the other Kagebitsu better.
yeah, that too. Because of that and all, I used to run like 2 to 3 prudent generals for the mirror just in case I went second. That was one thing, but it was pretty much boiling down to who got the rally win gods first and how much you were able to pressure.
You know, I hate about this expansion, and we might as well just kind of move on a bit to the next deck because I kind of want to talk about it a bit, which is Shadow.
Well,
Like
Oh,
I've
the
been playing.
actual unfair deck.
Wait. I've been playing like Shadow a lot, and since we're in the topic of rally and counting the rally for Win God, Fei Lan, like I've been playing Shadow a lot since day one because that's the first deck that I tested, and it's so annoying to keep count of everything. Like we have rally, and because the new Shadow has the burial, it's focused on burial right mechanic, so I need to keep track of burial right as well. And also, I need to keep track of
And
Shadow.
also your shadows.
Keeping track of rally is kind of fun in itself. I thought it was very troublesome at first, but keeping track at rally and specifically against rally sword is pretty fun because you can force them to play in a way that kind of minimize their rally sword. Like if they play Amelia on 5, they can only like increase their rally by 2, so you can delay their Phelan 1 turn, like or 2 turns, which is quite like it's just little things that you can do against the deck that makes the deck fair for me. And I think that's true with like a lot of the decks right now. And of course, we're gonna talk about Shadow right now. And I know Joy and Shira has very very mean things to say about Shadow, and like the community in general also doesn't like Shadow that much right now. So you guys can take it over.
I'm fine with the high roll. Like you have the rally high roll where you just have a full board of a 7/7, 2/4/4, or 5/5s if you bury right Firan, or if you get like Yangshi back from Milteo. Like I'm fine with the high roll. That happens in like 1 out of 10 games. It's okay for me. But what I'm not happy about is the fucking Sacristan. Like
Me
holy
too.
shit, that card
Course.
makes me mauled. This card
too.
can be cheated out early, is a fucking 7/7 on Evo, kills 3 things at least, and it does it all.
Kills you
And
by
this,
3.
yeah, like it
Kills
makes
you by
me
3.
mauled.
It has
Yeah.
heal
This
3
card.
for some reason.
It does it all.
Like when I like the first few days I was laddering with Rally Sword myself, and I'm like, whenever I see Shadow, I'm like, I just hope to God they don't drop Sacristan on True. Otherwise, like, okay, if this guy drops Sacristan on True and this guy has Milty on 5, I'm like, no way, I'm not playing this game anymore. I just concede. Not, I have other reasons to complain about Sacristan that includes Unlimited, but let's not go to Unlimited. Like Sacristan in general, that one card, it's like the linchpin of the entire Shadowcraft deck because once you have Miltio in, you have a ward, you have like Jiangxi high rolls, you have 4/4, then you also probably have God on. So you're like a super safe board. Like that is like very hard to come counter and like very hard to clear unless you are like Shadow yourself. And like that's the reason I'm mainly pissed off is like see Shadow has such a decent yeah, it's more than decent board building capacity going first or going second. Meanwhile the deck which is otherwise brain dead to play like Craft, that is getting nerfed, but I think probably because of people not being able to play Shadow properly, Sacristan has been untouched. So I guess that's probably the case, I guess. I
Especially the
still
later
feel bad
cards.
about
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
I mean,
after-
it's always been that problem where, like, Sword tends to have this struggle with so-called their class identity, cause like Shadow seems to be somewhat similar, but they always do things better in a way, cause of like the extra
Yeah,
additional effects, be it the barrier rise, the destructions, the better tempo swing.
yep.
Cause like Sword, you just like put shit down, right, and then you just like you try and wrestle fairly,
the
but
best.
like for Shadow, you tend to always have like I come down in play, I remove your thing, and then I still get the Evo and maybe peel off another thing. So it's like the tempo swing is a lot harder, and yeah,
Yep.
I guess that's the problem with a lot of people when they play against Shadow. And now that we have that high roll potential as well, right? The bunch of 5/5, 7/7s, 4/4s, which is so hard to clear for a bot wipe. And even if like you put it in context where if, like back in the earlier days, like your earliest bot wipe was like what Tammy's Decree on turn 6, but now you're like pulling this crap on like turn 4, turn 5, which is so hard to destroy.
I just want to add, like, you play, like, try to climb with Haven. Like, the best I could manage was 2k with Haven alone.
Okay.
Like, like you're just going on a heavy losing streak if you don't face decks you can beat. Like, if I see Shadow and they drop Sun Christian, I just go to the next game. That is the card. Like, it invalidates everything I want to do with Haven. And
Nah, man, you wait until they Milty on 5 and get Grief Digger out of it. Then
oh,
you
that's
cry.
all. That's also like whatever. Like, or you go against.
We have you make
okay,
this
never mind.
big Alana board. You make this a big Alana board, and they have Grief Digger out of Milteo with Sacristan up, so they kill 3 of your.
And you're like,
Yeah, you
okay,
can-
guess I die because I have no proactive play anymore.
The point that Bjorn, the point that Bjorn like give out just now, how Shadow and Sword is similar, but Shadow does things better. I think like that's pretty interesting because they're for me like they're kind of like in the 2 different side of a mid range. Shadow is more control and Sword is more aggro.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting on how like this kind of make it differentiate on how people play it and how well people play it, because control in general is usually harder to play than aggro, which might actually kind of skew the data. It's another topic in itself, but it's also kind of interesting because we were talking about like how people might not figure out how to play Shadow as fast as they figure out how to play Rally Sword, which is why Rally Sword is getting the hit instead of Burial Shadow.
Yeah, but I guess we can talk about like why side games came to that decision making. So perhaps we can just focus on like impacts on the particular classes and the crafts as like the decks as well first, and then we can touch on those later on.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. So what's next?
Because yeah, next is Minecraft. It's RuneCraft. Well,
Minecraft.
Big
specifically
Sell,
Dirt. We'll talk
BioWares.
about Dirt first. We will talk about Shira's new favorite deck. But yeah, Dirt. I know Bjorn has been playing a lot of Dirt recently.
Yeah, I have, man. Like, I think that was like exclusively the only deck that I've been climbing the ladder with. Like, I totally didn't touch Sword because I kind of had like that sinking suspicion that what's gonna happen. I didn't really want to go into it too quickly, and I kind of hated playing like the Sword Mirror, to be very honest. So that was that. All right.
Oh no, Joe died again.
And Joy died. And
I'll take over.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah,
you can go on.
Dirt is also kind of
Cool,
interesting
I'm
because
Pio now.
oh nice.
And we're back.
Damn.
Dirt is also kind of interesting because like it's in a way also mid range, but and like the way the deck evolves recently. So the first few days people are playing it as an aggro tempo. I know Shira has been testing a lot of aggro tempo Dirt in minis, right? But
Yeah.
ever since like that Japanese guy who got to GM with Link Called Dirt, the Fool, it's starting to be more of a control deck instead of like an aggro deck. It's also very interesting that way. Like I know Bjorn likes. Yeah, I know Bjorn likes the Linkal Chiaru version more.
And I call you degenerates for it because Chiaru.
I mean, let's be honest. They have not nerfed her, and because they haven't nerfed her, we're probably not gonna see her get nerfed anymore. You know, like we really gone past that point, so we just have to live with that.
Yeah, I don't know if Chiaru is that big of a problem. You do need to spend your whole turn playing like multiple Chiaru. Right now, of course, with Linkal being around, there are many routes you can get, and like the new Linkal Dirt rune. Even the guy who made the deck basically calls it. This is not a Dirt rune. This is a Chiaru rune.
Yeah,
Like it's a Chiaru rune crab that can play the Dirt way. So it has like multiple win cons, which is also like pretty funny. But I don't see the deck as troublesome, like as toxic as Chiaru is. Like a pure Chiaru deck.
In a way, you're right. Like compared to the other version of Rune that's running rampant right now, because people like the one deck that checked that deck is gone.
Pretty much.
It's not that toxic. I agree on that part.
Yeah. Like we have come at a point where like stuff like the Fool and the Carriel are feeling much more sane compared to the other Wink Wink variant of
I think like this whole expansion is a lot more
Pretty
tame
much.
than what we had
previously.
for the
The
past
last expansion,
6
yeah.
months. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'll take Valdane and Corruption Num over that degenerate rune deck that is
Yeah,
mentioned.
you
like
can't. You don't
every
need to hide it anymore. It's shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shira is a shop player right now.
Yeah, I'm
Shira
selling
is
my
playing
wares
shop.
on the stock market.
Shira is playing shop, Blow is playing shop. I'm like, dude, why are you guys doing this? And they are like, no, we are good. This is our lineup now. No, stop, don't do it to yourselves. Seriously,
Why do you
no.
think shop is not good, Joy?
I don't think shop is. I think shop is pretty good. I just hate the concept overall. Like I just can't come to the point of ever playing shop myself. I'd rather bring dirt in a tournament or in a lineup actually.
Yeah, but that's the thing. People hate playing against shop, so you pack shop into your lineup and have two decks you always are guaranteed to play. Like, you're happy about that, because people will ban your shop.
Pretty funny. I tuned into
I guess
Japanese
I
streamer
guess.
like the other day, right? And he basically says like shop is basically like the chef. It wins on like specific turns, and if you can't kill him before those turns, you lose. And, I thought about it, like yeah, it's basically like the chef.
Yeah, sure.
Shop. But like I know I've been saying this quite a lot since the start of the stream, but I don't think any of specific decks in this meta is that troublesome. Mostly because I feel like if the deck has clear weakness and how to abuse it, it's not that bad. Like,
Oh, so you
it's
mean
bad.
you want to tech Chantus into a deck? Like you're like, okay, I have this deck. It has like 39 cards, and I have to tech Chantus in now because hey, I could play against Shop because I had to ban something else.
No. I mean, like, not in competitive sense. Like in competitive sense, there's like other way. But like in way you play against that deck. Obviously, Shop is ever since, and it still hasn't changed. It's quite weak against early aggression and just like huge tempo plays. They can like clear your board multiple times, but they do have troubles before putting down Shop, clearing like multiple big stuffs on the board. And like their play are also pretty telegraph, and that's also true with all the other decks right now. They have specific play patterns that you can play around and kind of expect them to do, and it's easier to play around compared to what we had previously in Nam and Nam.
Nam and Nam 1, Nam
Nam
deck
and
2,
Kuwar.
Nam deck 3.
I mean,
Nam.
to be fair, we saw that coming. We knew that was like the ultimate broken expansion when both like all the best Machina cards and all the best natural cards were like kind of all
Literally.
coexisting with each other. But now, hey, at least one of the expansions
Of
gone
the-
now. Like what happened to Mech Blood now? Like it's gone. So
That power level overall has been pretty stable. Still, like it would have been still much more stable if they had let Roadcraft stay, but that's for some another time, right?
yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
but,
maybe
regarding shop rune, like there had been some streamers I have been seeing, like not only Shira, like some Japanese people were playing shop on ladder, and I was seeing them. Like I see a lot of time, like shop takes a lot of thinking for sure. Like it wins on 7, sure, no problem. But there's a lot of times like they have Madcap and the shop, two of them, and they're like, do I play this Madcap or not? And like, oh god, looking at them feels bad. But then again, knowing that that deck is going to win on 7 no matter what, that is another thing. Like, okay, you just live
That's a
till
myth.
turn 7. Yeah.
That's a
See,
myth.
yeah.
People tilt against Shop in turn 7, but it's not guaranteed they kill on 7.
Actually,
Like
yeah.
it's 80 or 70% like they kill, but they
Need-
can run out of fuel. And if they run out of fuel, you have one
Not only
turn
that.
more to kill them because next turn they're guaranteed to kill you.
That's one, and like you need like 0 PP trees and earth rates, so that's you need that kind of hand to so far. But still, I don't
Yeah.
know why people. Yeah, like he said, people get tilted when they play against shop.
Shop.
Alright.
Well,
Yep. Let's move on to the
well,
next one
that's
then.
yeah. Let's stop talking about Shop. Kind of get
No more
tilted a
shop.
bit.
Close the
Buy
shop,
my
close the
wares,
shop.
guys. Twitch.tv Shirayne. Buy my wares.
Another class that has been like popping up recently is Dragon.
Yeah.
Before we talk about the new one, I know Joy is really liking Faldane right now. So you can talk about Faldane a bit, Joy.
Like the thing was like people are still on the train of playing Nam and Walden and kind of thing. So earlier on, like not even like before the Nerfs were on, I was seeing lots of sword, I was seeing lots of shadow. So I was like, wait a minute, let me see whether or not I can play Union Burst Walden again. Just to use in order to punish them and play Dark Prison Dragons again. Turns out I was having pretty much like out of 10 games I was winning close to 8. So it was a decent run. So I was like, wait, Walden might be back, but not as the Nam version, maybe Union Burst. Then there's also Discard Dragon, which is doing pretty well. It seems it is doing well against Shadow. I mean, it's doing well against Sword and it's doing well against somewhat well against Shadow. But other than that, against Dirt and Shop, I don't feel it's that powerful. I played Discard. Every time I see Runecraft, I'm like, oh god, this is a matchup I really hate.
I haven't
That's
crafted
one thing.
Discard yet, but I've been seeing them in ladder
Mhm.
quite a lot, and it's a deck that I kind of like. I kind of want to build that. It's like the first time I ever feel like I want to build a dragon deck, and it's a very cool deck. And kind of
very
like
cool deck,
how the rest of the decks that we have talked. It's also very mid rangey. It also
Yep.
plays very board based, but at the same time, it's a deck that is very good against board based because Plesio has always been like the card that kills all the board base deck. You just ping everything
Pretty
down.
much.
It has like quite a lot
Pretty
of
much.
big burst damage potential with Dark Prison Dragon,
Mhm.
while still being a dragon deck. It still plays like a dragon deck. It ramps to a specific card,
Yep.
and if you don't draw a specific card, you'd lose. But at the same time, because Draconic Call exists now, you
definitely
have more
that.
chances of getting it. Has any of you played this card
I did.
recently?
I played it. I
Dude.
played around with it a bit. So I am enjoying it fairly. But exactly the thing is, like, there's a lot of things to. It plays out like a casual dragon deck. You ramp into your stuff. If you don't have it, you tutor it out. Make a board, clear their board. You make a board, you win using that pressure. Pretty much. Like I would say, the current rotation package, Springwell Keeper and Turncoat Dragon Summoner. These are like very flexible cards, first of all, and cards like Pachycephalosaurus and Ankylosaurus, the Natura package overall, they're making for a very nice package. But at times, I feel like, as usual with every dragon deck, if you're not ramping properly, you will fall below speed. Especially, and it's not especially against sword. Like against sword, you can contest a lot with when it comes to the board. Shadow, if you don't ramp a bit, if you are still able to clear, you are fine. But against runecraft, like not even dirt, not even church, if you don't ramp, if you are not able to go ahead of them, you will never get ahead of them. That is what I'm feeling. Because not only that, like both dirt and both shop, they have mirror of truth, right?
Yeah.
Mirror of truth copying your Ankylosaurus or Pachycephalosaurus, it's horror. It's horrific to see.
That happened today in Pro League.
It happened in I saw that happen in Rage, and it hurt me because that has happened to me on ladder. It hurts. It really hurts.
I like how Joy just like said the dinosaur's name like without a
Just casually.
yeah.
I can't even remember.
I'm like, yeah, that dinosaur.
He said it like not even 5 minutes ago, and I can't remember. Like,
Pachycephalosaurus.
Like, I'm not even sure if he's just
Pachycephalosaurus.
shitting through the name or he's like real, like the real pronunciation.
So it's Pachycephalosaurus.
Okay, got it.
Anyway, yeah, got it.
I
You
just
guys
call it
forgot.
Pachysaurus then.
But
I just
yeah.
know I have no clear opinion on Dragon because last time I touched Dragon competitively was when Storm Ramp Dragon was a thing. So
what about playing against Scar? Like, do you think the deck's alright?
my limited experience from playing against that deck is that they bought everything out of my warehouse.
Alright, fine.
Shira. I guess we'll move on to Blood then, because I have a lot of things to say about Blood.
Yep, you have.
I really like what
can't-
what they've done.
I don't want to talk about the times when you were testing sword versus blood, man. It was painful.
Blood, Self-Being Blood right now, I don't think it's a tier 1 deck, but at the same time, I feel like this is the perfect Self-Being Blood ever, because the way that it plays is kind of like the perfect way is side games have been imagining, and how I also have been imagining Self-Being Blood should be. So you self-being yourself, you also deal some like damage to your opponent, but at the same time you also like have a lot of heals in the deck, and you get rewarded for getting your red active very very early with a lot of heals. So it has this mechanic that I really like about Blood, which is risk versus reward. You are taking yourself risk by getting yourself low, but taking all of the self-being. The new Legend Darkhold, that card is very very good. It's basically a heal tree when you evolve him, but you have to take 3 first, so you are risking yourself to be under low health. But like when the turn comes out, the Direborn keeps proccing, you net 3 heals, but you have to take 3 first. So you are risking yourself, and it can win you games and can lose you games. And like it's a very cool skill expression that I like in Joyverse, where you just try to get as many damage on yourself for value, but being very close to the point of not getting killed by your opponent. Like, you're not getting lethal, so it's okay to take all of this extra damage, but if you guess wrong, and like your opponent has lethal that you didn't think about, like you die,
Didn't
and
expect
it's your
at all.
fault. And it's your fault. And like
Then-
that playstyle of red blood right now, I think it's very, very cool. It's my favorite blood deck like this year.
I honestly really like the way rotation Wrath Blood is playing around. Like the thing is, you talked about balancing, right? Like not only that, forget about it. Like we have people activating Wrath by turn 4, turn 5 with Prison of Pain, all that stuff. Then after that, you forget. Like there are so many good cards. Like Whiplash Imp, Antelope Pelt Warrior, Bear Pelt Warrior. They are all like they are drain, they heal. There's Contemptuous Demon. Like all these risking you take, all this. You can eventually heal it all back out. So it's a very interesting thing. Like this balancing game, I really like. Also, the fact that Wrath doesn't need to play Luzen at all, I feel bad about that. I wanted to play Luzen actually, but anyway, like Wrath can
What?
just play aggressively. Yep, Temperance.
You wanted to start Luzen?
They want
Yeah,
to start.
the temperance. I was
Try
that
to
was
kill
one
you.
card.
Yeah.
That was one card I really wanted to play.
It does feel like they
But-
took like a very long time to finally get to the ideal Bloods play style that they've been envisioning for quite a while. Cause it's either like it was like stupid broken or it was like unplayable for like a good 2 years
Dark
at least.
Feast back.
Like,
Yeah, I kind of want to like to make a video about this, about like how each classes have different definition of them, and like for me, blood is always about risk versus reward,
Yeah,
and so
it
every
is.
time blood is broken, it's because their risk is very low while their reward is very, very high.
Yeah.
Like Vengeance Blood or
Yeah.
Mech Blood recently, it's like you are taking zero risk for this return,
Yeah, I
like
mean-
very,
I mean-
very high return.
I guess the last time we had something that was almost to that level was like the good vengeance, the old vengeance, but back in like Tempest of the
Yeah,
Gods.
the post nerf.
Just before Wonderland Dreams, that just before that nightmare.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Yeah,
one, yeah.
Just before, like that where I
Yeah.
think we still had things like what was that card shit, I
Wait,
can't
are
remember
you
the name of the
talking
card, like
about-
Scarlet
Oh,
Savior and
are
stuff
are
like
you-
that.
Are you talking about like what ROB Vengeance
Yeah,
Blood?
RP Vengeance Blood.
Yeah, like just
that was-
leaning towards Tempest, where you still had the cards like Revelations and stuff like that. So you kind of like take the
Yeah,
punishment,
yeah,
you do the bob
yeah.
wipes, and then after that,
Control Vengeance.
you play out stuff. Yeah. So that was probably like the
Con-
last time we saw something
Yeah.
similar. But after that, it was just like either stupid broken or it was just like unplayable.
Yeah, either stupid broken or very
Yeah.
very bad.
And it's like
Yeah,
very
I
nice to see like blood being in this position where it's not unplayable, it's actually playable. You can ladder with it. Like you might have trouble against specific decks like Dirt,
Yeah.
but you'll have a
against-
very good time against Sword. I've have a
Yeah,
very good
for
time
sure.
against Sword. And it's very fun, and it's like one of the things that like I like playing against Sword with Blood because I can play around like their lethal from Kagemitsu and Wildcat, because that's very telegraph. You just open like calculating in your head like how much damage they can do this turn. Okay, I'm not gonna die to it, so like that's okay. And if you're not gonna die
Again,
to Kagemitsu Wildcat, they already proc their Kagemitsu, so now they have choice like do they go for Kagemitsu Wildcat now, or they just waste the Kagemitsu? I mean,
yep. You are like you just mentioned the thing. Like as Bloodcraft, you have all the tools to counter Sword. Like, you have IO, you have Neria. Not to forget, you have all the healing tools which I mentioned before, like Whiplash Him, or whatever the warriors are, so and so.
All right, let's
Yeah.
move on to the next craft then.
Yeah.
What was it?
Everything is to be fed to the meat grinder. All hail to the mantis god.
Oh god. Oh god.
Alright, that's Forest.
Nice.
I have this
20,
feeling that like
26,
Forest
26.
is either like need something from min expansion for it to be like a tier 1 deck, or it's just like they haven't found like the best Forest deck yet, or nobody have found the best
Yeah.
Forest deck yet.
Yeah.
Right now, Forest is Amata's, which a lot of people have been like saying it, but it's basically go first or die. The deck,
Okay, much.
and the other deck is Control Forest, which like either Evo or Roach.
Roach.
Yeah.
Evo sees more play right now, I think, and I think it's also the better one. out of the two.
Yeah.
Except like it has
because-
to win with Zeus. You know, Zeus.
Because not only that, because they have a few Evo centric cards, like Fairy Assault exists, Soothing Spell exists. Those are like pretty decent cards for Evo control. Not to mention Fairy Dragon is still in rotation and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So that's
Fairy
one.
Dragons.
And you haven't actually mentioned, like, I see a lot of people playing a lot, that doesn't have to have Terraformer, but I see Terraformer in all of those builds. But they have like Tempo Forest with Hanged Man and Terraformers. That is like the new kind of thing. If you can't win with Terraformer, you just play the Hanged Man on 7, you try to win off whatever they
Wall
had.
Fraud.
So, yeah,
Wall Fraud
Wall
is
Fraud.
like Hangman is like the weirdest card to play against.
Weirdest card ever. Weirdest card ever. Like, imagine you're trying to play Dirt Rune and you are not able to play. This guy just slammed Wolfrod on me.
Yeah, he slammed Wall Fraud on you, and you check what card have you played in the first 10 cards, right? And you saw like you have augmentation in there. You played 2 augmentation in there. You're like, oh my god, I can't give this guy dirt.
He played Caril on me. I'm like, dude, why are you playing my card on me? I'm like, that felt bad. That really felt bad. So I'm like, oh, that was awkward. That game was really awkward.
No man, like you played augmentation early in the deck, so their deck is a lot of augmentations and a lot of witch riddle, and they just win with Wall Fraud because they just draw the whole deck.
Yeah,
Oh my god, this is very funny.
But actually playing Portal currently is kind of sad. But yeah.
Yeah, as I said, I faced this Terraformer deck like a few times in a row, and I just love how it just kills you on turn 6.
Literally 26. Go face. Boom.
That's also like very interesting because
Yeah.
cards like Terraform, like right now we have a lot of cards that do a lot of damage, Terraformer and Dark Mage for Kurt. But we also have like several cards that can stop them. Like that. This is also one of the reason why Shadow and Ruin is very good right now because Dark Mage, Crystallize, and Fleeting Happiness, Fleeting Joy, Friends Forever exists. And like something that I was thinking about the other day, like this feels a little more like Unlimited because Unlimited, Joy obviously knows about this very much, but Unlimited is all about trying to play the anti-meta card, like to face certain decks.
Yep. I would agree. Like it's almost like whenever you're playing that forest deck, it almost feels like you're playing an unlimited deck. Like win by turn 6 or end up getting countered by something that denies your turn 6 OTK pretty much. Yeah, I agree. I agree quite a bit. We were talking about Portal. We'll get to Portal and Unlimited soon. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, so we are just left with like 2
Haven
left,
and
right?
Portal.
Yeah, I guess we can just wrap those 2 as a whole since like I don't think they see a lot of play, but yeah, let's just go through it. So Resident
How's
Haven,
Shira?
Resident Haven Master.
Shira.
To be fair, I also play a lot of Haven. So like while we're waiting for Shira, I'll talk about like what Haven I was playing. The other day, like I crafted 3 strength, and recently I'm playing like this Amulet Haven deck that you play Amulet, set up Amulet until turn 5, and then you slam strength down, Sophina, and buff the whole thing, and basically makes everything really hard to kill. And I've been getting a lot of success, specifically against Sword. I can't beat any other class. I just won against Sword.
Let me tell you about Haven. Haven could beat Sword, that's not a problem. But it gets shed on by Sacristan from Shadow, it gets shed on by Blood as the whole archetype, it gets shed on by Portal, because apparently it's a thing now to make your cards cost more, or kill your bot in one fell swoop. It gets shed on by Forest because, hey, you have a ward and play Terraformer go brrr. It gets shed on by Ruin because, well, if you don't go first and get your Kari active by 7, well, let's do the shopping, or Chiaro says go brrr.
Oh, you
anything Haven does gets invalidated by things. It's not like we don't have good cards. It's more like everything we do is too fair.
Like,
we have nothing proactive. We have card draw, but it's not proactive. We have damage, but it's not proactive. We can clear the board, but it's not proactive.
I think it's
Shirayne
because of, like,
he's
not having
talking about
card. I kind of feel like it's more because like all of the many different Haven pieces right now, like there's a lot of good cards I think in Haven, but they don't
Lots
click
of good
together. Like they don't click together. Like they trying to make that Ward Heal Haven, Ward Alana Haven works, but like there's way too many prerequisites to make it work. Like you have to set up your Lana, you have to set up Wilbert or your like other Ward cards, and it's
Yeah.
making it very very hard.
And then if you set it up, you die. Haven's best win con literally is the world. Literally. Because every other craft has access to Amulet Hate. Thank you for Playpoint spell. Resolve of the Fallen.
Reserve of the Fallen.
And like, I literally most games I won while I climbed with Haven were by turn 10 world into Yukari. That's it. You don't have a.
Oh, I got hit by that like multiple times.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's very annoying.
I think right now, like in the dark corner of like Shira's heart, he's just thinking, maybe I just need that Haven legendary in the Shadowverse anime, and this thing will be okay.
Honestly, I played it in a free off, play every fucking tutor card, and then I'll fuck every rune player over.
But yeah.
Give me Cursed God! Give it to me, Cygans, now! So I can actually properly turtle. Like, I don't care about going face anymore. I turtle and they die through Cursed God. That's a good thing.
Oh man, I don't
So you're
really want to
holding.
see, but I don't want to see Ignis Dragon every damn game though. But yeah, fine.
That I don't want to see Ignis Dragon myself. Like, I was about to say the same thing Shira said. Like seriously, he was talking about Sword having a good Sword having a bad matchup with Elana. Now think of Evo Sword. Evo Sword has resolve of the Fallen. Like immediately, it's not a 4 PP removal; it's a 1 PP removal, and then they are going to play out what? They are going to play the world. They are going to play Regal Wildcats. They are going to remove the board completely. You don't have anything to buff. Like, what's the point of playing Elana even into Evo Sword at sometimes? I feel bad for that.
I feel like
weird.
the saddest thing about Haven right now is that Shadow does what Haven does a lot
But
better.
better, yeah. I was gonna say that as well
better.
earlier.
What is Haven's... Guys, what is Haven's class mechanic?
Amulets, healing.
No, that's Shadow's class mechanic. Healing, that's Dragon's class mechanic.
No, healing is a Shadow class mechanic. Have you seen Friends Forever?
Banish? No, that's Port's class mechanic.
Popping multiple big stat on like a specific turn.
I guess
Shadow now.
Amulet's one.
Dragon does that better. Dragon does that better with Titanic Dragon.
Min-
They
Banish
used to be
is, Shadow-
they used to be pretty
Shadow.
known for like actual like destruction, you know, like tribunals and stuff.
Yes, give me back old school control Haven back. Give me back my Themis. Give me back my tribunal. Give me back my judge. Like, give me those cards back.
More
you know
Cards in
what,
that
Alright,
style, so I
I
can
missed.
and give me a finite win con, like which ends the game like Seraph. And if you banish that amulet, you lose the game. Something like that.
Wait, that's over. That's too much, man. No, but like regarding
Haven is ass for fucking free expansions now, and it will continue to be ass until Cygames gives us something unfair to do again.
I feel bad for Shira because the
Guys,
thing is, Shira-
reprint Morier. Reprint Morier.
Moray does
Moray is
jack
great,
shit
yeah.
right now.
Hey, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool card.
I like Moray. I think Moray is like pretty good.
if only
It's a fun
they
card to play against as well.
Yeah.
If only they made like a better version of Moria, that would be good. And I feel bad for
Wait,
Shira
just reprint
because
Morier. Morier is good enough. Or like the 4
I
class
feel bad
one.
for Shira because see now like Shira doesn't touch unlimited at all. He's afraid of unlimited, no problem. Like Summit Temple in unlimited just became super consistent. Like there are 9, you can say there are 9 Summit Temples in the deck right now. There is Jeweled Brilliance, which is going to bring out your Summit Temple. There is Griffin, which is going to bring out your Summit Temple, and it completely puts everything into all the pieces into your place. The idea is to win by turn 5, turn 6, right? You are able to do that quite easily. Why? Justine is there, Meowscus is there.
Yep, Still
the
not
fourth-
tier 1.
Still not
The
tier
fourth-
1.
4
Will not
PP
tear
card
up.
is that 4 PP card is there. Except the sad part is because of decks like Shadowcraft, because of decks like Bloodcraft and Portal, Summit Temple is currently tier 2 kind of.
Yeah.
That
Speaking of
feels bad
Portal,
though.
let's move on
Feels.
to that as well, right? Like let's talk a little bit about Portal.
Lastly is Portal, and like I know Shira really doesn't like how Haven is it right now. Portal is a different like.
Portal is playable, trust me.
Yeah, Portal is playable, but I feel like this expansion doesn't get like it went back to Portal not having any game plan, like any specific like play pattern or something. Like right now, there's Control Portal. It's seeing play and Pro League. It's also like seeing a bit of play in ladder, but I feel like that deck is only there to specifically counter specific decks. Basically Shadow.
Did Portal lose a lot
And
of cards on Steel Rebellion? You know,
Yeah,
kind
they
of like
lose
how,
augmentation.
Yeah, they
which
lost
is kind-
augmentation, which was
which
the
is-
biggest hit.
yeah, which is
Yeah.
kind of like how like Mech Blood lost like model and whatnot, right? So
They lost. I don't think they lost a lot of important cards, but they lost
They-
very
they
key
lost-
cards like
Yeah,
Shion
augmentation.
and
Shion.
Augmentation Bestowal. Augmentation, and
Augmentation
Shion, which is
mostly.
very-
Like losing Shion is not that bad, but losing augmentation is like.
yeah, ouch.
And it like went back to this topic of like what Portal really is.
I am seeing cards like Artifact Scan and like what was that Robotic Engineer. Like if only those cards had come like one expansion before, right before Augmentation and Shion rotated, right? Portal would have been super good. But they came one expansion late and it's Unlimited that's abusing all these cards.
Yeah, I mean,
The unlimited Portal is.
That's that's like a straight up how do I explain Unlimited Portal? Like how would you guys explain Waldane? Waldane is a card that is like no matter how long he is in the rotation format, he's still there. Like, he's still going to be played. Meanwhile, artifacts in in Unlimited is like it's going to be played and it is going to be decent. It is eternal like that. So that is how it is in. Meanwhile, Rotation Portal, I look at Rotation Portal and I don't even want to compare it anymore. So yeah,
I really wish like they bring back more mid range win con for Portal, because mid range Portal is like it was a thing. Puppet is practically a mid range Portal.
have
like-
you ever thought about it like here? Dimensional Dominator, that card is pretty nice. The leader effect is pretty nice. There is one card that could abuse it very well, but that card is not in rotation anymore, and that card is Maesha.
yeah.
No.
That is just think
No.
about Dimensional
No.
Dimensional Dominator, Maesha puppet.
The reason they print Dimensional Dominator is because Maisha is not here anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't
And
like Maisha.
Portal
I don't.
doesn't need Maisha. They have Zavardo together with
Zavardo and
together
Avikara.
with Ragnar. Yes.
Yeah.
The problem, like, Portal had always, like, for the last year, especially last year, they have been, like, getting all of this win cons that is very, very big and very, very slow, like Kaiser, Awakening Ragnar. And, like, I want something that is a bit more fast and flexible. Like, I want Arcus back. I want something like Arcus back. I don't want the new Arcus. The new Arcus has a lot of. You have to commit 2 puppets. One for like playing, like you have to commit a puppet and an Evo for like 6 damage storm without Evo. Like if you want to get it to 10 damage, you have to Evo again.
That's
like-
not enough. That's not
I
enough,
guess
and it's
I guess
also pretty late.
the only time like Portal kind of shined quite a lot was like the initial introduction of Portal, like late 2017 I believe, right? And then it leads up into like 2018, where we had Dawnbreak Night Age, we have Grand Blue Fantasies expansion as well, and then that's
Yeah.
where we had Noahs and stuff like that, and those were like pretty nice. Like I mean, like I even miss cards like Nicholas as well, like with the one with like the what was that Robomi? Yeah. So
Robomi.
yeah. So those are like very nice, like fun mid-rangey kind of cards that we kind of had, and you didn't have to drag like forever just to try and get a win condition. You can kind of like take advantage if like your opponent is not being able to react to it, just kind of like guess down on it and then just go for the win. But as of like 2019, 2020, the win conditions are pretty damn slow, I would say.
Like Maisha,
Yeah.
has basically turn 10 unless you cheat
Aisha
on
was
all.
slow. And Modesty too, like Modesty is a very good win condition, but she
Yeah.
too is like she is not world lane. Well, you can like just put her down as she's not world lane, but seriously,
Okay,
like,
I guess
she's pretty slow as well.
the last faster win condition he had back then was like Liciania and her destruction amulets.
Yeah.
Right?
Nobody
I
else
guess-
but
I
me.
Yeah, that was probably like the last like faster win condition they had.
And even then, like
I
Lishana
guess
needs like to commit an Evo.
Yeah, correct.
Like, I think if you still go back to like Alter Spear after the mini, you could like think of like Deus Ex Machina plus Maisha. That combination was pretty medium paced, pretty fast paced overall. But other than that,
But
not that fast.
it was Deus Ex Machina doing Deus Ex Machina
Yeah.
stuff back
Yeah,
then.
it was
People were
Deus Ex-
very
Deus
happy
Ex
about
Machina
that too.
I just want something that's not Artifact, because this expansion especially kind of proved that Artifact is not a good deck if it doesn't have anything that is cheating. Like, it loses Augmentation, the one card that basically cheats the whole deck, and then
Yep.
it's no longer
I mean-
a tier 2 deck even.
I mean the artifacts archetype has always been you try and sort of play fair, but you're like putting stuff back in and drawing them out, and then you just like flood the board, right? So in a sense, like it is playing slightly unfair amongst the other people who are playing fair on board. But now the current meta is not that case, so it's kind of tough for them to actually shine.
Like the thing that really bothers me much is because the current float portal, like it has very good mid-range playstyle. Like it's a very good card. Like they have a lot of good mid-range cards, but they don't have win con. They don't have anything
Yeah.
that can win them the
Yeah,
game in late
yeah.
game.
And
Yeah.
I like how boss actually mentioned that artifact plays like put artifacts into your deck and you summon it. But last expansion, artifact was not even about putting stuff in your deck much. It was like getting paradigm shifts in, putting it in your hand, and playing out artifacts with spells or with whatever you had. So
Yeah.
Artifact was-
I think Artifact is like,
that was fine.
if I have to define Artifact right now, I feel like it's more about setting up and then going off.
setting up and going
Yeah.
firing off.
Yeah,
So
like
that
setting
was-
up your
that was-
creative.
I miss my
Yeah, I
puppets, to be honest. I do miss my puppets. Like the puppet archetype has been slipping for quite a while.
Remember when they nerf Puppet before the new expansion?
Alright.
Aha.
Just-
Nice.
Which brings us right into the topic that everyone has been waiting for, which is the nerf.
Mhm.
And how Cygames has been doing the nerf like this
Beautiful.
month. Like,
Heavy breathing from Shira, yeah, but yeah.
Shirayne is about to hyperventilate chat.
Yeah.
I'm going to bite into my fucking table.
for people who somehow missed the news or didn't listen to us from like the start of this podcast, they're going to nerf Sword tomorrow. Specifically, they're going to nerf Wildcat. The card will no longer have Accelerate, and they will also nerf Honest Thief. It will have one less health, which makes it like a worse aggro card. And like before we continue, I don't think the nerf is that impactful. despite the complaint that we all are going to make, but I don't think that nerf will like kill Sword completely. Like Evo Sword aside,
It
like,
won't kill, won't affect Evo Sword at all. Not
I think
that's
Rally
lie.
will
It
still
will
be
affect
okay.
Evo Sword.
Okay, let's
but
segment this discussion. Let's talk about the direct impact to the nerfers before we talk about like the reasoning and the decision making behind it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess. Yeah. So
That's like
So I guess the consensus is that even though there's this nerf, it's not going to heavily impact like the deck as a whole. I guess is that what's everyone trying to say here? Or?
it will make the deck weaker. Like having the difference between the 2/2 and 2/1 is very big, especially if Root is in the meta. Magic Missile is always a card. Like they always have a way to kill one health follower. Like
That's
especially because there's what's the new card? The featuring tomorrow altering
Tomorrow.
Authoring Tomorrow. Yeah, that card is basically Angelic Snipe. No, not Angelic Snipe. The big one.
It is straight up Angelic Barrage. Yeah, you are correct.
Yeah, Angelic Barrage for 2 mana.
And draw a card.
And draw a card.
And snipe again.
And then again, like even in terms of like if you're talking about sword mirrors and all, it is not going to survive a good trade later on. Like it's a 2-1.
Yeah, honestly, it's basically gonna be like a card that you will never play before rally unless in specific situations, right?
Yeah, very specific situations. Honestly, like
that situation. Oh shit! I don't have a 2-drop.
yeah,
that's the situation.
Which is a situation you shouldn't be having when you're playing sword. Honestly, so that is one. But like rally sword probably won't be played that much. Evo sword is completely unaffected, and shop rune is like shop rune. Shop rune.
I guess that
Exactly,
just happened, right? There's like one lesser like aggressive deck to deal with now.
Yep. And not to mention, I like my biggest concern with the overall nerfs was like they nerfed just one class. Like they didn't nerf the other classes that would be dangerous afterwards. Like I don't even remember what was the win rate of Plesiosaurus this card. Like they nerfed Machina Forest. They also nerfed the next dangerous deck.
Plesio was nerfed because of unlimited, I think.
I think so, but then again, now that you think of it, they are not looking at unlimited that much. Like think of it.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, actually.
I'll be honest. Like if you think of it, they nerfed the second most dangerous deck that would have been much dangerous if they hadn't nerfed it. So like they nerfed Machina Forest, then they nerfed Plesiosaur, so it was stabilized. What they did last expansion, they didn't do this expansion. They nerfed sword, but in the end, they didn't nerf cards like Sacristan or like whatever the cards, cards like Madcap Conjuration or like cards like Augmentation. They were untouched.
But to be fair, I think there were times that they ever did like just class specific like nerfs as well. I don't think this is actually the first time. I guess Plesiosaur and of course Machina Forest nerf was just pretty much quite coincidental. I mean, considering that the fact that we did had a problem with PDK back then, right? So they already kind of like had that foresight that might happen again, which is why they kind of just like let's just nerf like Plesiosaur while we are at it. But for the current nerf, I just felt I guess it does kind of like slow down the high roll a little bit because like you can't be like just throwing out tokens on the board like 1, 2, 3 and then 4 and then you go into a 5 with almost close to rally being up and then you do your thing, right? So I guess it kind of slows down a little bit, right? And even like the nerf of 2-2 to 2-1 is I think it's kind of minute. Like what other 1 damage spells you're kind of expecting, like apart from Magic Missile, and how often are you even seeing Magic Missile being played now? Correct. So it's like these 2 nerfs, like wow, it kind of like I guess on the surface level it looks like, oh man, we got the nerf and all that jazz, but like as an overall impact to the whole deck, it will be like, I guess it's no big deal. Like
the big deal is the accelerate from the Wildcat,
yeah,
so you can't rally as fast
so they
anymore.
can't rally as fast, right? But is it going to affect the whole deck as a whole and the win rate? How consistent were people even slamming down Wildcat on turn 4? Things like that. Did it affect
whenever there's chance? Like literally.
Yeah. So but
now you have to like.
Do they lose not playing that Regal Wildcat on 4? That's the question, right?
I mean, like you can go back to like the Levin Sword kind of way, play like only 2 Wildcat and have that slot for Wildcat for cards that can help rally a bit more.
Yeah.
Rally, in terms of rally sword, like your best player on turn 4 going first was Regal Wildcat Axel, but now we have to think of doing something else. So that's
like
fine,
double 2 drops or something like that, right?
Yeah,
and
like we can play like a 1-drop plus Balion's command or something like that.
Or
to get the same amount of bodies, you got to play Panther and like Stroke.
Phalanx.
I guess they don't have like a very nice clean turn 4 play now, right? Like previously, let's say if I'm going first, I'm on turn 4, I can't evo, right? I look at Regal Wildcat, I'm like, hey, that's a nice curve, I'm gonna slam on 4. It's not an evo card, I don't feel bad about it. And then you look at the Wind God as well, right? Like Wind God in like, I guess I can kind of play this if I don't really have a choice. It's not that bad. She has to come down at some point, so you just play.
Fair is like a very bad trap. Like I saw people playing Veyron on 4 to punish me for not clearing their board, and I'm like, oh, you only accelerate your rally by 1. Okay, so
but you know,
you're not gonna get your next Veyron.
Yeah,
Like,
so I guess if they didn't have a
the next
choice,
few turns.
but they had a choice, they would probably still slam it down, right? So now I guess the only like setback is that they don't have a feel good play on turn 4 now. You know, like how we always have this discussion about 4 drops where there are 4 drops that are good when you play first, and there are 4 drops that are good when you play second. You know, like those
Yeah, I guess so.
because of the evil abilities and
Shizuru,
stuff,
for
right?
example, yeah.
So now they don't have
Shizuru.
a good turn 4 play on second, because they don't really have like a good, I guess, evil turn to capitalize on when they are going second. But at the same time, they don't really have a good turn 4 play now, I guess, because you know, you have Regal Wildcat, and then sometimes you slam down like Faye, and then you'll be like, what am I doing? Like, I'm not even exactly pushing
their rally is
damage,
definitely gonna be like a lot slower now.
So rally's gonna
Because-
get slowed down, definitely.
But I don't think like it will kill
I
Sword
don't think it'll kill
completely.
out to
Like,
that. Yeah.
No, it's just that Evo is now favored over.
yeah,
That's
but
really-
like that's not why people are upset about the nerf.
No,
Yeah.
I'm
biggest-
upset because they actually don't just looked at data and not about gameplay
Yeah.
and like the competitive scene again.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And this is like something that I said on Twitter, and like probably the thing that kind of brings up this discussion is that I feel like especially this year, they're trying to get the nerf out as fast as possible before Rage starts or like SPO starts, which is like a good
Yeah.
change. Like in a way, it's a good change. At the same time, is that like the correct way to do it? Like because it already have like resulted into very very bad expansion to play. Like Ultimate Colosseum, what Core never got nerfed
Mm-hmm.
like ever.
Yeah. But then again, yeah, we can argue Ultimate Colosseum was still fine, but compare that to
I mean,
World of
like,
Rooted.
if you only look at the like how many decks are being played,
Mm-hmm.
I think like people can argue Ultimate Colosseum is fine, but Kuon is not fine.
Kuon was
Like,
blasted.
playing
Kuon was
Kuon-
blasted.
Kuon is not just busted, but playing as Kuon or playing against Kuon, it's always the same thing. Like that deck in that meta,
Yeah,
if you don't get
it
their
was
6 Kuon,
pretty much-
you lost.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
lost.
I'm not.
Like,
I'm
if you're playing- if you're playing against Paladin, If you're playing against Paladin, if you don't get the turn 6 Kuon, they can get their UB active first. Basically, like the later you play the Kuon, the worse your matchup are against all of the decks. Like against Kinsetsu especially. Like
Yeah.
if you don't get turn 6 Kuon, you
And
get turn
like-
7 Kuon. Okay, now they have Kinsetsu.
If you are, and if you have then if you're playing ambush sword, you just have to hope they are not overloading you with wards and all that stuff. Oh god.
Yeah, so
Weird
like
weird
the whole game plan, like playing in ladder or playing in competitive, is all about do they have turn 6 Kuon.
Yeah. So
All
now
about
the thing is,
Kuon,
are they like balancing, you know, just to like suit the general crowd on ladder, or are they trying to balance due to the competitive? Considering that they are doing this way before the competitive season of that month, I can see that they have taken in our feedbacks from previous years. And, you know, we used to be bitching about how like, oh man, we're like the guinea pig region, you know, we only have like a couple of days, and then they implement this bloody, you know, like patch, and then we like crack our brains for a couple of, like, not even a week, you know, to try and like solve this thing, and then you try and go competitive. So I guess in a way they did kind of take in our feedback, right, to implement changes, just, you know, before like a major regular season in a way. But of course the downside will be whatever we are facing right now. I guess they didn't really put in too much thought. Like, I think the problem is not even about like, you know, they are doing us a favor by patching this thing early. How about like not fix the damn problem in the midst of it, but like while you're designing it, you know, kind of have like that realization that this kind of shit is already going to happen, you know, that kind of thing. So
That-
Because the
kind of
Kuon
thing,
example I gave just now is also like a very good example on why only data is not a good way to see how your game is balanced or not, right? Because like of course Kuon doesn't have that many win rate. If you don't get turn 6 Kuon, you lost the game against all of this deck, or you have a harder way to win against this deck. But if you get turn 6 Kuon, you win.
yeah.
Like that's not
You just insta-win,
that's
yeah.
that's not good. That's not good for the game.
Yeah.
And like in the data, of course, like they don't have up of percent win rate. Like that all like relies so badly on getting 36 Kuon.
Yeah.
So tough.
Right?
I mean, were they pretty transparent about like the data this time around? Like, I know there was a period of time they were very transparent about the data, like how many percent were playing, what were the win rates, and then there came a time where they were very secretive about it. I didn't even want to mention about it. So everyone is like, it's quite hard to like listen to a
Just tell us.
justification to a
Just tell
certain
us.
to a certain patch, right? So I'm not sure if like for this recent nerf, did they actually back it up with actual data, or it's just like
They backed it up with data.
okay, then I guess.
Rally Sword have 59% win rate. It's the first, I think,
Yeah.
out of all the decks. And it was
And
have
Evo Sword was
80%.
like 55.7 kind of.
Yeah,
It
but
has
then again,
18% play
yeah.
rate,
Yeah,
play rate, which is
so
second.
with that, right, we also understand that the sample size is pretty tiny, right? Like it's quite small. It's been only like
That too.
a week,
It's not even weak.
and yeah, it's not even a week, and you
Not
cannot
even
include like
Of-
data from during the
Day one.
pre-release. Right, because people were even playing it
Exactly,
pre-release, so
exactly.
you can't count that.
It's
But we
like-
don't know if
yeah.
they actually factored that into the equation. So there's that as well. So
That was one, and clearly Shira had mentioned quite from the start of the discussion he had mentioned there were people, not just us, not just you, not just me, there were people who were already out there building out anti-sword lineups for whatever they wanted. Sword was so easily counterable. They were like, okay, let's play Shadow, let's play this, let's play Blood, let's play Forest, let's play blah blah blah. They had so much deck variety coming out, and all that deck variety just goes poof all of a sudden. Why? Because the counterable deck that they are supposed to counter, it's gone all of a sudden. So we
Yeah.
have to rethink our ideas once again. So
Okay.
that's one thing. That's one thing as well. So
to be
yeah.
fair, I'm
People
not.
are also
I'm not too mad
I'm
not too mad about the nerfs. Okay, like I
They
guess
just enabled
yeah,
the
I'm
degeneracy
also,
that
not
is
that
shop,
mad
and
about
that's what's
how,
making me mad.
what the nerf is happening.
Same thing,
why
Shira,
we're
same
kinda
thing.
affected. I'm kind of mad about we are kind of mad about what the nerf implies. It's
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
probably not gonna get another nerf.
Yeah, actually, that's the implication that I'm hoping that it will not happen. But if you're talking about
I
like
just hope-
just very like objectively, like I guess this nerf is fine. It kind of like sets back the deck a bit. Although I don't really agree with how they came up with their
How they
reasoning.
do it.
Yeah, the reasoning behind it, like the notion behind. We're nerfing this just because like X deck got this result and based on this sample size, which is kind of small. So
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
and then it's like you're trying to patch this thing that people weren't exactly like, I guess weren't complaining as much. Like we were saying it's strong, but it wasn't as oppressive as like how Mac Forest was, or like right?
nowhere near.
Yeah, so it wasn't an oppressive thing that needed to be addressed immediately. But okay, I guess they are favor in a way. They might have considered the competitive scene a little bit and just nerfed it a little bit first. But if they do not nerf in the subsequent months, like they don't fix shit after that, then that is quite a bad sign that,
Yeah.
you can see
Like
behind
Mac
their
Forest last time.
philosophy.
They fix Mac Forest and then all the other decks come out Haldane comes back. Mac Blood was mostly
Mac
there
Blood-
for printing revenue, on mini expansion,
Yeah, that
Like-
too. Like
Yeah,
what
and they
the
didn't
Like-
fix that.
After the Nurse, Blood was already such a strong deck. They also decided to make it much stronger after the mini expansion. I'm like, wait a minute, what are you guys doing?
That was
Those
not
kind of-
okay.
Yeah.
Those kind of stuff.
Framing is-
I don't know. I felt like
Like-
I'm not sure what's wrong with the design balance team, but you know how back in 2018, I guess 2018 was probably like the best highlight period. Where they actually nerf things
Yeah.
every month. They actually review decks, the win rates and everything every month, and at the end of every month they will actually like try to patch something, and people
yeah,
weren't
either buff or nerf, right?
buff or nerf, and people weren't mad about it. People were actually okay. Okay, like case in point, like Dawnbreak Night Age had that thing, right, where they nerfed Embling Rev, Queen of Dead Sea, in the end of March, and then when it came to April, they nerfed they buffed Tofkus, and then they buffed Topsland as well. Just
They
to, like,
buff
give,
the X-Men as well.
correct, just to give them a little bit of competitive edge. Okay, then in May they didn't touch it because it's like it's gonna be like the end of the expansion anyway, and the new one's coming in. So like whatever, I guess that's fine, right? And then Grand Blue came around, they did the same thing, right? They unnerved Actor, which didn't matter because that was in Unlimited. But they unnerved Magic Illusionist, the unnerved Sariwan, stuff like that. And then of course later on, there's Hyperia, there's Val, there's chromatic duels, all these like adjustments were also being done.
Tenko.
Right? And then
Yeah.
that subsequent month, and then we had like the I think there was Noah got nerfed from 9 to 10.
Yeah, to
right?
10.
Yeah, and then of course
And Nicola got
Nicola
nerfed to 5.
Vals as well with the stats from 2-2 to 2-1, right? Or was it
Which
the
is
other way
like
around?
one of the worst nerfs they ever done.
No,
Because
actually,
Nicholas got nerfed.
no, actually they unnerfed
in
it.
that meta.
They unnerfed it. So it's like, they were regularly looking at the game every month, and then they tried to tweak a little bit. And in a
That was
way,
good,
they were
that was
quite
good.
mindful a little bit about Unlimited as well. Like, you can see like some changes were really just meant for Unlimited, but you could see they were quite meticulous about it. And then things just went to hell one fine day. I'm not sure like exactly when was the turning point, but it was just
Yeah,
They
I
started
don't know.
last year,
Even
right? I think
yeah,
last year
even
they
though
did like nerf in one expansion. Like
so it's
Herd
like
and Conflict alone, they have like 3 nerfs, different
Yeah.
nerfs,
yeah.
or 2. I kind of forgot.
No, it's like I think after that they just got very lazy. They're like, okay, month 1, we're not gonna touch it. We'll nerf once at the end of the first month, cause 1 month is pretty substantial data, right? They nerfed that once. End of the second month, they're like, you know what? Let's just be lazy asses and not do anything, cause like that's the mini expansion. Mini expansion is just
Yeah.
gonna ship up the meta by itself. Oh yeah, we don't have to do anything. We can be lazy asses and just sit back and just let the community do their thing and try and solve the meta all over again. And then the third month comes and we'll be like, oh, hey, we can be lazy again because it's like the end of the expansion. It doesn't matter, like the next new one is going to come in. So I guess we're just going to sit back and not do anything again. So that has kind of like become like the trend, which is what we're seeing right now. Okay, and now they decided to go like, let's fix this at the start of the month. So now
they were like,
for better or for worse, we can't tell until like the month to come, and then that's where we can kind of tell like if they have changed their way of working things, right? Like for now, I guess people are just being very negative because of what has happened in the past 2 years. But
That's no, like especially what happens like the past 3 months with
Correct.
now
you're right.
with World Uprooted, like
I
not
guess-
getting touched at all.
Yeah, I guess it's still a slight improvement. So let's just see if they would actually do something about it. Like let's say end of this month or like start of next month, right?
Yeah.
Because they
Yeah,
could
like,
just be lazy and
yeah.
sit on their asses and just say, let's wait for mini expansion and then the next expansion again. And then we're like back to square one, but even worse now because we're just going to get like slipshot patchworks at the start of the month, and then we're not going to see
Yeah.
any changes for the rest of the next 3 months, which is kind of shit, to be honest.
I'm gonna like ask this to you guys, like how many of you think they need to nerf this time?
hello Twitch.
How many of you think like we need to nerf this time?
I didn't feel like we need a nerf
I
at this point. Like I think we're still like trying to figure things out and yeah, we have our counters, and that's how like competitive play is like, right? The counter decks are always like not the first tier deck. They're always like tier 2, tier 1.5, and then it's like whether people
Yeah,
bring it or
yeah.
not, right? So that's
Yeah,
how it
that's,
kinda
that's
works,
how meta game works, like
Yeah,
tier list.
correct. So
that's
so,
how the metagame works.
so
Like,
to be very
honestly,
honest, even without the sword nerf, I would have just tried and play, and I don't think I will complain as much as compared like to the past expansion. But I guess the current I'm not complaining like the current sword patch. I guess it's kind of okay. I just don't like
How they're doing it,
how
right?
they're
Yeah.
actually doing it. Yeah, like
Yeah, I'm not complaining about nerfs. I'm complaining about how they do it.
yeah.
I'm just sad about the fact like this was honestly like what you said, Kyo. I didn't wanted nerfs. Like it was only day 3, man. Like they nerfed the thing. But yeah, if you had to nerf it, you had to nerf some other things as well. You didn't do that, so that's why I'm also on the complaining side of it.
Okay, so we're on that topic, right? So you felt that since they did some nerfs to sword, they probably had to have done some adjustment elsewhere. What are the adjustments you felt they should have done?
Firstly, I wanted to like think of like Sacristan for sure. Like Sacristan, if they had at least increased his crystallized or like removed his crystallized. No, removing his crystallized would have been pretty bad.
It would kill it.
That would have killed that. That would have killed the card. But
The Christian
increasing-
just needs no Evo stats.
or that,
No,
or
that's-
that, or,
good.
or
Like,
that, or that,
or
or
like
you could have,
lower base stat. That's also like.
or that you could have removed one part of his evolve, like either the destroyer or either the healing,
Oh,
or
you know,
increase
making a 5/5 on Evo would make it
yeah,
a lot more bearable.
that or his crystallized cost could have been increased. His
Nah,
crystallized that could have been increased too.
it will make it too
Probably
slow.
won't matter too
Like
much.
if it crystallized free, it will make it too slow.
Yeah.
And I don't think it will see play anymore. Like I like Shira's suggestion the boost. Like make it a 5/5 on
Yeah.
Evo. Like
Yeah,
5/5
just keep
straight
just keep the
into a
stats there, right?
trick attack.
Yeah.
That too, or like yeah, exactly, or probably adjust the evolution effects a bit, because I'm not even talking like even from rotation point of view, that is pretty nice. Like either removing his crystallized will kill the card. We went over it. Increasing like if you adjusted his Evo effect, like there would have been I think he would be stopped. He would be stopped using in unlimited, because now in unlimited he's part of Atomy. So that's why.
Yeah, suggestion is also like pretty interesting. Like make
Yeah.
it so that it reduce the burial right if you it reduce the countdown if you burial right
by
this
one
turn. So
instead of
you
two.
have to burial right and then play that card the same turn.
Yeah, and that was
Yeah.
why I was suggesting increasing his.
Or like make it so it only triggers once per turn, so it doesn't get -2
that-
countdown from Milteo. That's also like
Yeah. Or that could have been good.
Alright. So apart from that card, any other cards you felt like maybe should have had some adjustments? I know Sword. I mean Shadow is like the next like cousin to Sword, and whenever you nerf Sword, people felt like Shadow's technically like the slightly better
Yeah,
class, so you have to
agreed,
nerf something.
agreed.
But other than that, like Shop Rune, anything else?
I don't
You
know what
can't do anything to Shop Rune without outright killing the deck. That's the problem.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's true. Like there are two cards. Like I really look out for when it comes to shop room. Like there's the card called there's augmentation. Whatever. What is that? Something augmentation. That is
Augmentation
pretty good.
Brawl.
Not augmentation bestowal. The
Magical
rune
augmentation, 1 play point, deal 4, destroy 2 dirt.
that card is pretty busted. But then again, it's a pretty decent card even in dirt.
Really,
and
I
rune.
feel like that card was fine. Like there's so many times
Yeah,
I'm
that
like.
card. That
I'm
card is
desperately
fine.
trying to set up. I'm even
That-
desperately trying to set up dirt for that, man.
That
I thought that
card
card
is-
was
The problem with like nerfing Shop Rune is that you can't do it without killing
killing the deck,
affecting
right?
other rune decks.
Yeah.
That card is pretty that card is busted, but I don't think they need staging. But one card that really triggers me is Madcap Conjuration. But how do you balance that card? Honestly, I still don't get it. It is a very busted card. It discards your hand, it draws, it does all that stuff. How exactly do you balance that card is like out of my question. I really don't know myself. And you also kill Shop Rune pretty much if you try to balance that card as well.
Yeah, so I guess you
Yeah.
can't really fault that deck being there, right? And I guess for competitive
Yeah.
players, maybe it might even come to a point where you have no choice but to just ban that card. I mean, ban that deck, cause maybe you feel
Yeah.
it's oppressive and you need to target something
much.
else. Right?
Wait,
Hey, that
kill
was
Shop
my
Rune if you
game
have
plan with
decks
the
that
Kura
counter
Rune.
it.
Yeah.
You have
You can
need to have
literally
decks
take
that are good
Shantus.
against Shop Rune.
You
Yeah.
can
That's how you
literally
kill
kick
Shop
Shantus.
Rune.
Kill their
Why-
shop
why-
or kill them fast enough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to kill them fast enough.
Just think of
Which-
you take Shantus, you put it on the field, then they're like, oh God.
Okay. So let's say hypothetically.
So maybe
right?
like
Let's say hypothetically now that what side games felt that with Nerf Sword is gonna go down, right? So what do you think is in their head? Like what's gonna be the next big thing, and what are the sleeping decks that used to be oppressed by Sword, but because Sword's not there anymore, might re-emerge? What do you think are like
Like-
those decks?
if we're thinking that they're only seeing data, I don't think they're looking at Shop
Yeah, definitely.
because it's not seeing play after
I-
expansion release because Sword is everywhere, right?
Yep.
So they're definitely looking at Shadow. That's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they're looking at if they're looking at Shop Rune, I don't think like they will nerf this. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't think dirt is that big of a problem for the deck to be like
I don't think
nerf.
Do you think there are any sleeper decks that
think-
might, like the cats out of the kitchen, the mouse are like out to play now, kind of situation?
Well, Dane.
If anything, I feel like-
actually have. I think Walden won't come because Shadow and Shop Rune are more meta. Honestly, that is what I feel at the moment.
I feel like if the meta really did shift to Shop Rune being tier 1, which right now I'm still doubting.
I'm kind of
What they need to do is just they need to buff several like cards that can maybe counteract with them. Like the way that you win against Shop Rune is either by aggroing them down or making a huge board before they can set up shop, like at turn 6, before they hit turn 7 and play shop and like boom 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 clear our board.
boom, boom, boom.
Because they do have problem killing multiple big stuff. Just like one of the way that Shadow can win against Shop Rune is to get a good Mildio Sidekick Stun and like hope they don't have all the answers in hand.
Yeah.
Kind of stretch sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe buff even.
I think even like nerfing shop itself is pretty tough to balance, right? Like that card has a long wall of text. I have no idea what they can actually fix there to try and like make it okay.
And that, like, you could probably give Shop Rune you can probably give Shop the Plesiosaurus treatment, but it's going to be very bad.
What?
You just can't give it the do one, but that will be too bad for Plesio. That will be very bad for Arcane Shop.
The way like I always see shop ever since like it was released last year, I always see it like as a cute meme deck, and like I like cute meme deck existing in the game. Like I want the meme players to have something they can play, and like I don't mind losing to it once every while. But if it's meta, then if it's like tier 1, it's kind of like
I guess nerfing it to ping 1 is kind of shit, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, you make such a huge board that they can't even clear. It's quite bad.
Yeah, and then now that I think of it, like Chop being meta, like we were talking about Terraformer Forest, that might become more played. Who knows? Of Swordcraft, there won't be rally sword anymore, not that much. Probably some 11 rally. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe 11 aggro.
Yeah. But see now, like I don't think I will see Bloodcraft that much. I'll see more Shadow. I'll probably see a bit. I used to see Discard a lot because of Discard Dragon a lot because of Sword being meta.
Sword, yeah.
I probably may or may not see Discard Dragon, because if Evo Sword continues being Evo Sword, then probably Discard Dragon might be a counter deck. Walden, I don't think we will be seeing Walden this expansion, I hope, because Walden was something I was using as a counter for both Sword and Shadow. Now Sword is not going to be there, and Shadow is actually going to be pretty good. You know, Jiangxi high rolls, Sacristan high rolls, that is pretty hard for Walden to manage.
Yeah, I guess the decks to beat are like the decks that can kind of get their win condition quick, like turn 6, 7, 8 on average, right?
Exactly.
So it's decks like Shadow, decks like Rune, what are decks kind of hits fast. I guess these two are the main suspects, right? So
And that is, and I also mentioned Terraformer Forest as an example. That might see much more play. Who knows? Because it can win on turn 6 very easily, quite easily. Turn 6, destroy a ward, go face. So that's one.
Oh, Amatas might see more play.
Amatas might see more play. People might actually play not Wrath Blood, but something like more akin to an aggro blood, less self pings but more damage. Who knows? Aggro Dragon, maybe. Like Rally Dragon might be a possibility. Who knows? Like, I saw some guy, I saw some dude trying out. It feels like a meme. He played a Sealstorm Dragonute, and then he played the new Dragonclad Lancer. He pinged the 0 PP cards and got a board. Next turn he had Windward coming in. Yeah, and he was like, I was like, wow, this guy has Rally and he's playing Dragon.
yeah.
It might be a thing, but I don't know, man. I really don't know.
I think the one deck that kind of like intrigues me is like the movement for Kuon Rune, right? Spell boost rune in general. It's that deck that doesn't get impacted by anything. Like there were no cards like really lost. They weren't cards that were
Clark
really
lost.
Yeah, minus Clark, right?
Clark.
Clark.
Yeah,
Clark was gone.
You can see like the jump like it's always bouncing between like tier 1 or like just
Not playable like at the end of
playable,
last year.
which is kind of weird, right? Like does this deck even like have a chance of bouncing back up again, considering that like
Oh, no, I don't think so. Like probably
slow,
you
right?
might wanna play the Fool with Kuan, but now that you think of it, how good is that going to
It's
deck
too
going
slow.
to be when the best Fool abuser is actually Dirt Road? So like now that you think of
Yeah.
it, would you rather play Spell Boost spend all your
Probably
time
not.
ordering when you can just eat dirt and go face.
Yeah,
So
I kind of like
that's
the
also
fool because the fool is kind of like early Kiaru in a way,
yep,
right? You
yep.
set up on turn 3, and then by the time you hit the golden turns of like 7, 8, where you normally play Kiarus, they've already like reduced by 5, so they're kind of like a Kiaru 0.5 version in a way, you know. So
You can play your Karu or you can play your Dark
Dark
Mage and
Mage,
just
yeah.
win the game.
So I guess that game
It's also
plan
like
is
because
pretty nice.
there's a lot of multiple mid-range decks right now, and I don't think Kuon deals with mid-range very well. Like
Yeah.
one way you can win against Kuon with Shadow back then was you aggro them down and make a board. So even if they get Kuon out, like they need to deal with your board, and
And
if
then
you
you
can like tempo them back, like yeah,
you just play your
they kind
second
of lost.
Kuon, and then you go face again, and then they have to deal with that again.
Yeah,
And
but
then they
like the
have to
decks
deal
right
with
now,
another.
it's
Can't do
harder for just Kuon. Like back then, like Kuon, you have a 3/3 and 1/3. They can kill 2 cards and like Evo kill something else. But right now, like you're facing Milteo's board, and like what does it do?
Yeah, exactly. Milteo's board is like a much more dangerous
And like
one board. Like
Dirt will
they are
just clear your Kuon with First Walker, and then like go face, burn your face, and just
and like
stall on 8.
and we are there used to be a time when turn 5 Cerberus used to be cried at. Like, oh god, he played
Oh
turn
yeah,
5 Cerberus.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now we have turn 5 Milteo. Like just same class by the way. Same class by the way.
I feel like people kind of overreact to this very good on curve play, because I never like feel like turn 5 Kerberos was a problem, because it's fair telegraph. Like, oh, they're gonna play turn 5 Kerberos, they can only evolve one stuff. Like if they don't have anything on board, like the way they trade is very specifics. And like you can play around that.
Yeah.
Same with like Milteo. Milteo I guess have RNG on it, so it's a bit more difficult, but like
Yeah, like I mean, like you know, the 5/5 is just going to crash into something. It's going to be left with 2 health, 3 health, and then
yeah.
you can just do like another 2 for 1, or you can do a bot wipe. You know, so it's like it's no biggie to be.
Because the problem like
Yeah.
with decks like Kwon or Nam is not like you know they're gonna play Kwon or 6, but what comes after that? Is it only Kwon? Maybe they play Kwon and then they play something else. Or with Nam, like they play Nam and then they get Core and then they get Steel Wing and like
Yeah,
and like how do you play around that? Like
You
it's
can't.
not telegraph.
yeah.
Like do you play around them not getting Steel Wing or like not getting Core? Like I mean, you don't know if they have it. They don't know if they're gonna have it. Like they need to draw the cards first from Nam.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's a whole lot more problem for the game compared to like Kerberos or Milteo. Like Milteo, I think is still fine.
I'm fine. Honestly, I'm fine with Milteo or Dreadlord. Like I just mentioned it so many times. I am having troubles with Sacristan. Just Sacristan.
That 5/5 into a 7/7. Oh,
7/7, kill 1, kill
ouch.
3.
That's the thing. Like especially the fact, like Milteo's burial rate times 2, so you immediately have him during those turns if you are timing it properly. So that's a very dangerous board that the opponent produces.
Counter is quite scary, right? It's like spell boost doing their flame destroyers plus firing embrace all in like in turn 4, turn 5.
Exactly.
Like, how
And-
the heck do you even do that with spell
and,
boost?
and like truth
Yeah,
of
like
yeah,
they got turn 5 Kyaru, turn 5 Kyaru, not turn 5 Kyoka, and like okay, turn 5 Kyoka, I can deal with it, and then they
Yeah.
slam Daria down, and then they slam the Demon Color down.
Yeah. Oh man.
Or like back then, it's not Demon Color. They went turn 5 Kyoka. Oh, okay, I play around Kyoka, and then they play Demon Color. Oh, okay, there's Demon Color. That's okay. And then they play Zealot, and like, and you're just playing in your heart. They only have one Zealot.
and you forget the fact, like truth's adjudication was the only healing thing in spell boost. Like spell boost in general didn't heal a lot, but Shadowcraft is also like destroying something, healing as well.
Yeah. Alright, okay, I
Yeah,
guess
so
we pretty much covered the impact on the nerf, directly, indirectly, and even
Yeah,
like the design.
right now.
Yeah, and suspected design for its philosophies and hopes that things might improve for the better and not the worse. So I guess we still have one more point just to cover through, right? Like it's quite some time, but
We can do it, but what do you guys want? Something like extra that I put in on the topic list. But what do you guys want from an expansion?
I can't even have a wish list right now when I don't even know what the current meta's kind of like, you know.
Something.
For Haven!
Anything.
Obviously, that's something for Haven,
That
right?
binds all the good cards in Haven together to
Like,
one
it has-
coherent archetype. I'm going. Be right back, else I'm gonna scream.
Wait, Shira. For Haven,
Right.
do you want them
It's
to
molding.
go towards the Alana side of the things or the Ward side of the thing?
Control.
Or
I
maybe the
want
Amulet.
them to go, if they support amulets, that they pull through and support the amulets. Or for fuck's sake, Alana rotates, give me Tenko back.
Actually, the current Haven has quite a lot of good amulets, like especially the expansion. Like they have the Pinion Lake and the 2 mana. Like if there's something for like a turn, like a 4 cost that can pops amulet, I think that the Haven will be in a good spot.
We have a free cost that pops amulets.
Yeah, but it's very hard, right? The Muse guy, right? I forgot.
Yeah, but it's not hard to include that, like, it's a good card.
With that, like something that a bit more, something more like the deer from
Serenian High?
yeah, DBNE, the black deer.
Serenian
Yeah.
High.
Like I said, I just wish myself a Tenko back. To play point
No,
only wolf, bring
no,
a
no,
Tenko
no.
back. Give me that.
That might actually happen in expansion because
Yeah.
Not.
Alana is rotating out, right?
Yeah, Alana's rotating out, so it can make room
they
for
might-
Tenko
they might,
again.
yeah.
And if they go that route, I will be the happiest man ever because I
Oh,
feel like Haven
oh,
has
God.
some time for payback to all the seasons.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I mean, based on my
It does
knowledge,
feel
like okay,
does feel like
we've gone
this
through a
setup
lot.
expansion.
We've gone through a lot of Haven decks, right? Like there's the Walk archetype, there's the Tenko archetype, not Tenko archetype, the Elena archetype, and there's the Control. I just win with Seraph archetype. I think these three are like kind of like the major archetypes that we've seen through the years. Were there? Oh yeah, and of course, Stormhaven, right?
There
Yeah,
always
Storm
And
Prince.
Tenko.
Yeah.
there
so-
had been like 3-4 types of Stormhaven depending
Yeah.
on the format.
Correct. So, I don't know. Do you have like a particular favorite? The Storm, the Ward, the Elena, or the Control?
I like Storm. Like I enjoy playing Natural Haven. Don't judge me, but I very
I know
enjoy playing
Mescaline
Natural
was
Haven.
pretty fun.
I enjoyed playing like I will name out unlimited decks of course like
You
I
forgot
enjoyed
Summit,
playing-
Bjorn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, Summit is
yeah,
kind of
I-
Stormhaven, right? It's aggro.
It is an
Like
aggro deck.
range.
And also like the older the rotation Summit Haven was much more mid range though, like Heavenly Ages, Heavenly
mid-range,
Knight and all that.
mid-range
Yeah.
Storm.
Okay, to be honest, I like the Storm variant more also because I just like the image of like Ares like beating the shit out of people instead of like just sitting back and like we'll all control you
Yeah.
and stuff.
I'm the control guy. I loved Aegis to death. I loved Aegis control to death. I loved Tenko to death.
Yeah.
You're still calling yourself the control guy.
Right.
And he liked Lana to
Kyo
make
will
some-
fight me on this, but I'm the control guy, and I want my Tenko back. Science,
No,
listen to
no,
me.
no, no.
Print that Tenko and mini expansion. Thank you. Okay,
Anyway, like
close.
I'd
Haven,
rather, honest, I'd like, I don't know why, I just haven't, if you haven't noticed, like, whenever the discussion of Havencraft comes in, all different types of players come in. No, I want to play aggressively. No, I want to play mid-range. I want to play control. Honestly, even if, like, I want aggressive Haven support, please, give me more aggressive Haven. I'd rather play that. Like,
meanwhile,
probably-
Ruby,
You all Joy.
yes,
What
we
the
get
difference
more
is?
spell boost cards.
I'd rather play
Joy.
Natura Haven in rotation. than
Joy,
this.
your opinion doesn't matter on this. You're not a Haven main.
Cough.
Our opinion doesn't matter. We're not the development team.
Yeah.
Look, I like that. Haven was like the first deck I played as a Shadow SUV. Like, dude, afterwards I started playing Dragon. Like that's the awkward part. Anyway,
When you like, if they buff,
like I was talking about aggressive.
if they buff,
I was
Discard
talking
Dragon and Wrap Blood mini expansion, I would be happy.
Yeah,
Like very happy.
I
Those
was-
two decks have like needs just a bit more for it. To be,
What buff
like,
this
a very,
buff
very good
discard
deck.
dragon?
Yeah, Discard Dragon.
And
I understood not
I-
Dragon. I was like, Kyo, are you fucking with me right now?
I
No,
really
no,
like.
no, discard.
I really love Blood, like the way the direction is going now. So if they could still
Yeah.
like give you a little bit more tools, I think it'd be great.
That would be pretty interesting.
I'm not. I
This
don't
card
think.
is also like very.
And
I don't know, I like
unfortunately,
that
I
card.
don't think Portal can be fixed anytime soon. Like I think even a mini expansion is not enough to fix it. So I guess we have no
Maybe.
choice but to wait for the next one.
Yeah.
What does Portal losing in Rebirth of Glory? Because one way to predict like what they will buff is
What they're
predicting
losing,
on
right?
what they're losing, right? Like what.
Yeah, but I guess that's a topic
They
for
are
like
limiting
2
them.
months. That's a topic for like 2 months down the road when.
Yeah, when mini expansion is coming, right?
So let's just put that. Let's shelve that for now.
Yeah,
Alright.
well, we did talk a bit about Heaven, which
Yeah.
I wish is enough for Shira. Like, did you complain?
I'm
now?
just ranting,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. But overall, I'm pretty happy with like the other crafts, I guess. Just give us the
Yeah.
other necessary nerfs, like like Shadow that we were talking about. Other than that,
I guess what they would have.
yeah, I guess
I
we
mean,
can't
like
really-
ideally, all the class would be playable, but we've played Shadowverse long enough to know that
that
that is just not possible.
not possible.
It's not possible. Not yeah. But anyway, like
Yeah, I mean, as long as they can make it like just enjoyable, I guess it's good enough.
yeah, which I think they did quite a good job this time around. Like as long as shop is not tier 1.
Yeah. That would be a nightmare.
But anyway,
I hope
it was
not.
fun talking with you guys. Like, you guys have anything else to add about like this expansion?
Nothing.
Like, I think we can all
Needs
agree
to
that-
go.
This is a better expansion compared to like the last two.
World uprooted.
Yeah, it's definitely bearable.
Yep. Much
Yeah,
more bearable
like,
than world
I-
uprooted.
Despite the response to all the random mechanic. Like,
Oh yeah,
for
actually,
Chariot.
yeah. Like people are bitching about like how it's gonna be like Hearthstone 2.0, right? And then
Yeah, but
I
it's
guess-
it's only the Fortune Hands card, and I kind of like the way they designed the tarot card. It's like they have this second mode that is like last ditch effort. So like if you want, you can just slam the last ditch effort and like
Yeah.
roll the dice.
Literally,
Like,
it's like
sometimes-
if you have trouble with forest craft, you go for bull fraud, treacherous reverse.
Yeah, just go for Wolf Rot and see what
Yeah,
happens.
suddenly, take sword craft for example. Oh god, there is nothing else to do. Let me
I
drop
guess-
the chariot.
I guess
Chariot.
Wolfrod does give off that York Sauron vibe from Hearthstone, like when all
Actually,
shit comes to like when your shit comes down and you don't really have a choice, you just slam him down
Yeah.
and hope for the best kind.
But I
of
think like they strike the perfect balance of those cards being interesting without being strong enough to be competitive viable. So
yeah.
yeah, I kind of like it. Like
Nice.
Wolf Rot and Chariot. Like if you play in ladder, if you don't really care about like climbing or anything, you're like, oh fuck. Now we roll the dice and you lost to it. I'm like,
yeah.
that's kind of funny.
That's kind of
Yeah,
that,
pretty
that
much.
Kind of, that kind of suck.
Sucks. I wish like cards. I don't know. Like I think overall pretty good. Wheel of Fortune is kind of eh. I like Justice Justice deck, the Justice OTK.
Justice
Like
OTK.
that's pretty funny.
The most funny part of the Justice OTK is like some builds they're playing the tower. That is the gold Dragonwood card. So what happens is when they have the Titanic Showdown drop in, Justice doesn't gain storm, rather it draws them cards and they deck out and lose. That is like, oh god, nice, good job, dude.
Yeah, that clip I shared in Twitter was like the highlight of this.
Highlight of the deck.
So like it's an expansion that is like competitively it's not that bad. Like it's a whole lot better. While casually there's a lot of these fun cards players to play. So overall, I think it's a pretty good expansion for now. Like
Yeah.
I might
For
change
now.
my mind
I
after
mean,
playing
despite
SEO
all the
for 2
bitching we
months.
just did earlier, but we aren't really like that mad with the set as a whole. We're just
We are not
just
we are not that
concerned
bad,
over the
honestly.
reasons over certain decision making, I guess.
Mostly
Yep,
because we've
agreed.
seen worse.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I guess we can kind of wrap things up here.
Yeah, if you guys want to plug in your Twitch, Twitter, I know Shira has been trying to go back to streaming.
Yeah. Like I'm trying to stream actively more active nowadays. Like you can find me on Twitch TV Shirayne. My Twitter handle should be on the screen, and you can find me in the ManaSurge Discord or Crumpy Caps Discord. Like I'm always there to answer your questions.
Yeah, and I'll be there shit posting on Twitter at Twitter/Joyverse, and I'll be making tier lists later on. So wait for that. Nothing much to say.
And you can find like Bjorn on the ManaSurge Discord.
Yeah,
I don't know how
always
often you post like in
Beyond
your own
might be
Twitter,
there.
Bjorn.
Oh,
Bjorn might be hiding
I
in
actually
followers.
post quite often on my Twitter. I mean, apart from that, I do post quite a lot of nice whip stuff here and there. So if you give me a follow, you can actually see the stuff I retweet.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I guess we'll be doing more like tournaments in the upcoming month again. I mean, it is a new expansion. I guess it's a great time to just start kicking the MS Cup again. So let's see if Battle 5 can get us our nice rewards again. I'm not sure if they're updated, but we'll just try and do whatever we can. Apart from that, we are what other content that we have up the pipeline? I guess we already done with MS
Tireless.
Cup. Yeah, tireless, right? So George is gonna be updating Unlimited as always. I will be working on the rotation one. Just a little bit more time. We just need a bit more time since Nerfs is kicking in tomorrow. So I'm not gonna rush in updating it yet. Right? Like if not, people are just gonna be like making noise about it again. So I guess we'll probably just like observe and probably do like a first update after the SVO West. I think that would be a pretty good time to like have a gauge as well. Yeah, so that's one update we can look forward to. Apart from that, I believe some players were also gonna start to do like a bit of like articles about like deck building and stuff. So I think Finalis has something up the pipeline. So just look forward to that as well. Yeah, and I guess that's about it, right? Like I do want to do
MSG.
Yeah, I already mentioned like we
Never mind.
Yeah. Other than that, I have my Whip
think
podcast that I wanted to do more regularly. I only done one episode, so if you are a fellow Whip and you love to engage in cultured topic discussion with me, do hit me up and then we could try and like arrange something. I think it'd be fun. Yeah.
And of course, since you're here, like you can also like subscribe on Twitch. Follow us on Twitch because there's even more and more content.
Yeah.
The MSG streams, like.
Yeah,
all
just
the
give
good
us
stuff.
a follow on Twitch. Of course, I think we are mostly updated on Twitter, so do give our Twitter a follow. It should be below in the description. And of course, swing by the Discord because most of us are there. We do have a lot of like the Shadowverse players hanging out in our community as well in the channel, so you can always hop by. I mean, we don't just play Shadowverse; like we have like a heck lot more games that we get together and play. So
Yeah, especially recently.
yeah, like I guess with like the whole COVID-19 and everyone's being at home, we are actually spending more time like bonding with each other and playing games and getting to know each other better. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah,
Yep.
we often play Project Winter. We are planning to play Divinity Original Sin and all that stuff. So if you want to come join us, come meet us in the ManaSurge Discord.
Oops, sorry for that.
And like lastly, you guys can follow me on Twitter at Kyo_SP. I've been like ranting quite a lot this past few months.
Yeah.
And like you guys can follow that and see what opinion I have, what bad opinions I have on Twitter.
I gotta apologize for like the slightly shit production today as well, cause I've not done this for a while. It's been 2 months.
Yeah, we
since
haven't done
did
this in a while.
Yeah, and usually for like, MS Cup, I don't really have to like juggle a lot of stuff. It's just pretty much just streaming the games and just having voiceovers. Not that bad. So yeah, I'll try and fix that.
Oh, boss. Boss, you are using light mode, boss. How
Yes.
could you?
An old man like me needs to have more clarity when we look at things on the page. It's
His room is also pretty dark, right? Like Bjorn's room is very dark.
yeah, and my room is pretty dark. That's
Even
why I
with
have
light
like,
on.
that's why I have light mode on so that the white screen kind of like shines on my face so that I look like visible. If not, it's just gonna be like I'm just gonna be like this dark, like right now, as you can see.
Weird jump.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, like that's about it for us today. As for the next episode, MS Talk, we are definitely gonna do one before mini expansion, like to talk about that a bit more specifically. But like if you guys have any topic suggestion, because I've been like writing low on topics, like I won't lie. And it's mostly because partly due to my lack of motivation playing Shadowverse like last expansion. That was also like one of the biggest reason why I haven't done the MS talk for quite a while, but yeah, we'll be doing one before mini expansion to discuss the mini expansion a bit. But if you guys have any topics that you want me and like some other players, not just ManaSurge players, to talk about, like you can DM me on Twitter. Like I'll see if I can get some of those players into the show.
Yeah, I mean, just hit us up, man. We're always on Discord. Just like drop us a message, like, hey,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
this topic will be pretty interesting. Would you like to do it? It would be great if you can do it.
Yep,
Just
yep.
ask
Hit us up on Discord, hit us up on Twitter, like anywhere you want, really,
Yeah.
and I'll consider it.
Like Kyo manages the MS talk and Bjorn manages the musing. So just go ahead and tell them. No
Yep.
problem.
Yeah, I really
well-
need to think of a new week topic though.
I mean, new season is coming, so maybe that's
Yeah,
that's
I
a
guess.
generic topic, but
Yeah.
You can invite me for mangas, but not for anime.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I really wanted to do like VTubers, but maybe not.
dude, make a
I'm gonna
make a boomer
eat
visual novel.
and take
So-
my social distancing from you, Bjorn. I'm
I'm
sorry.
Yeah,
Me
but
too,
but
but-
that's it. I am planning like a little bit of like game sessions. So things like maybe like anime quiz or like music quiz, and then we can just have some fun or like guess the age of certain X characters, and then I'll probably just pick like characters from obscure shows and you try and guess their age. Things like that. I think that'd be fun.
Reminds me of the Pro ZD video.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay, fine.
we've been like shooting overtime for
Yeah, yeah,
quite
yeah.
some time now.
Let's not
so
let's go track off. Yep.
let's wrap it up. Like, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys again next time.
All
The next episode of
right.
MS Talk. Bye.
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 Bye. Bye.
Yeah.